Hi everyone, I'm DJ Kearney and we are here at Okanagan Crush Pad Winery. We're in the heart of the Okanagan Valley and I've spent the last many decades training sommeliers around North America. I've traveled the world for wine, tasting, writing, teaching, but we're at one of my favorite wineries. We are about to taste the organic wine collection from Okanagan Crush Pad Winery. This collection really embodies what this winery is all about. Wines of minimal intervention. They are stripped down in the most important way. They are about purity and clarity and a sense of place. Organic wines are important, they matter. They are farmed without the addition of agro-pesticides, chemicals and fungicides. They are good for the earth, they're good for the vineyard workers, and they're really good for us. This pack of 4 wines has 2 wonderful, dry, expressive whites and a pair of juicy, pure reds. Let's start with the Freeform Van Grey. So let's start with Freeform Van Grey 2018. So it's an unusual name for this wine, Vin Gris, Van Grey. The words really mean gray wine. So this is neither white, nor pink, nor red. It's made from 100% Pinot Noir, all organically farmed, of course. I'm gonna pour myself a taste. I have a beautiful wine glass and the color, as you can see, is a little bit like a golden white wine, but it's made from red grapes, so it's a little bit of skin contact that allows the wine to take on this sort of golden brass color. Make sure you swirl your wine before you taste. Bury your nose and have a fantastic inhale of its aroma. Such an expressive nose. One of the things that you first smell is a beautiful yeasty, toasty smell. That's another thing that's special about OCP wines and the Freeform range in particular. It's what we call a wild or native fermentation. The yeasts are cultured here at the winery and they start every single fermentation of the wine. They're not adding, manufactured laboratory yeasts. They're native to this place. This wine has a wonderful smell. There's a little bit of red fruit aroma because it is made from Pinot Noir, a red grape, but it's got a fantastic sort of peach and apple and pear smell. I'm gonna have a little sip. Make sure you spend a moment just chewing or gargling the wine when you have a taste. It's just like swirling it in the glass. It helps it to open up, get a little bit of oxygen in there, and you have a completely different tasting experience with the wine. The acidity is really, really bright, right? One of the great strengths of the Okanagan Valley is we have warm, sunny days to help the grapes ripen, but at night, this is a semi-desert. It gets cold, and that allows the acidity to stay bright and soaring and really, really vivid. It just lights up all the wines. It's dry, it's crisp. It's a fantastic wine to sip on its own. It does not need food. It's got a wonderful savory character, and what I would want to do with this is have a beautiful little cheese and meat platter, maybe some salty olives and almonds, and that is going to unlock some beautiful fruit in this wine. Vin Gris, Van Grey from Freeform. Take a close look at the label. It's made of stone. It's rolled powdered stone. It's unbelievably cool. It saves trees, it saves water, and it really fits in with the mantra here at OCP. So we've just enjoyed the beautiful Freeform Van Grey. Next in the organic collection is Haywire Switchback Pinot Gris. So let's dive into Haywire Switchback Pinot Gris. Haywire is one of 3 tiers here at OCP. So we have Freeform, we have Haywire, and we have Narrative. This wine is near and dear to my heart. Back in 2006, I helped to plant this vineyard, Switchback Vineyard. It's right in front of the winery here in Summerland. And we worked really hard planting the vineyard over a couple of days. This wine is really where it all started. So this is the OG wine, the original pioneering, started it all wine. It's also not your average BC Tutti Frutti Pinot Gris. It's very, very serious. It starts with a beautiful golden color. The nose has everything that you want from Pinot Gris. And Pinot Gris, by the way, is a white morph of Pinot Noir. It's part of the big Pinot family. Smells of peaches and apples. It's a little bit floral. There's something honeyed. Like the Freeform, it's also fermented with wild yeast and in concrete. And you can smell a little bit of that feral character on the nose. There's something herbal and botanical, and I can't wait to have a gulp just because I love this wine so much. You'll notice I'm spitting. That's what wine professionals do. Don't you dare spit at home though. I expect you to be sipping this wine. In the mouth, it's bright and alive and vivid. There's gorgeous fruit. It has a long, long length, and everything that I mentioned, peach, apple, and pear, a little bit of sage. You know, the vegetation that defines the Okanagan Valley is in this wine. Long, long length. And if you taste carefully, you'll notice that the end is a little bit salty. Right? That's a wonderful indication or a signature of the terroir here in Switchback Vineyard. This is a wine of place, and the place matters just as much as the grape in the expression. Again, this is a standalone wine. You could sip this on a sunny patio. You could have a glass in the bathtub, which is what I like to do with it, or you could pair it with your best organic roast chicken. Some salmon with a little bit of peach salsa. And if you love to have cheese as much as I do, some local BC cheese. It could be goat's cheese or it could be a beautiful cheddar. So after this Pinot Gris, we're going to move to Narrative's Cabernet Franc. That's our next wine, the first of 2 reds. So we've tasted the whites, let's move on to the first of 2 reds. This is Narrative Cabernet Franc from the 2017 vintage. The fruit comes from a little further south of where we are. One of them is from an area called Caledon. That's not far from Okanagan Falls. And then from right down in the sunny south in Osoyoos. I'm gonna crack this bottle, pour myself a big pint, and dive into Cabernet Franc. So this is a French grape, and it's actually got a fantastic pedigree. It is one of the parents of Cabernet Sauvignon. So long ago, in the area just a little north of Bordeaux in coastal France, Cabernet Franc crossed with Sauvignon Blanc. Their love child was Cabernet Sauvignon, which we're going to taste in another pack from Okanagan Crush Pad. Cabernet Franc is one of our greatest grapes in the Okanagan Valley. It ripens nicely, it makes beautiful, generous wines. Look at that color. It's a lovely, translucent ruby. The beautiful thing about making wine in concrete is the wine has no makeup. There's no interference from oak barrels. You just get the incredible essence of the grape. What I smell in this wine, there's something a little floral. There's beautiful blackcurrant or cassis fruit. Something a little sagey, because that is so much the signature of wines from the Okanagan, especially the South Okanagan. And it just smells pure and alive, humming with vitality. Oh, that's hard to let go, that one. In the mouth, it's big, wonderful, full flavor, more cassis and blackberry and bramble, Beautiful high acidity, that's the trademark of the Okanagan, don't forget. And tannins that give some wonderful architecture to the wine. It's not bitter, it's not astringent, you just feel this wonderful structure, some little chocolatey notes on the end. Wow, it's a beautiful red. The acidity will allow you to pair this with a lot of different foods. One of the things that I love to make with this, and by the way, I used to be a chef long ago before I got completely seduced into the world of wine. I would love this with a Thai beef salad. It's got enough acidity to handle the vibrancy of all the lime in there, but you want a little bit of meat with this because, you know, it's red and it needs it, it demands it. So, narrative Cabernet Franc made in concrete. It gets to rest for about 8 months in the vessel. And that just allows the wine to harmonize and integrate, and all of the elements, the tannin, the fruit, the acidity, to become one beautiful, harmonious whole. Let's move on to Pinot Noir. This one is from Garnet Valley. This is one of the most extreme, crazy projects anywhere in British Columbia. Wait till you hear about this vineyard. So in my glass is Haywire's Pinot Noir from the Garnet Valley, 2016 vintage. Garnet Valley, I love the name, and this is in a crazy cool place. It's a little hidden hanging valley just north of Summerland, and this is a site that the owners found a few years ago, and it's one of the most extreme. It's BC's highest altitude vineyard. It's on virgin land in a completely sheltered, special place. The vineyard was planted with Pinot Noir first. Pinot is a grape from France. For many people, you know, this is the holy grail grape. This is what you want to drink for the rest of your life once you discover great Pinot. It's also quite persnickety. You need perfect conditions for this grape. This wine is farmed as if it were in Burgundy, which is the homeland for Pinot. So the vineyard has French clones. This is a Burgundian clone called 828. The vine rows are very close together. The plants are close together. We call this a high density planting. It's special and it makes for a lot of concentration in the wine, and there's tremendous complexity because of the site and because of the grape material. I love Pinot with all my heart. I'm so excited to smell this. So fragrant, right? The first thing about Pinot is the violets. You get this wonderful floral perfume. That's followed by red fruits, cherry, raspberry, wild strawberry, a little bit of cranberry. Such an expressive nose, all about red fruit. Give it a minute in your mouth before you say anything. That's the rule of Pinot. This is lit from within with gorgeous, bracing, racy acidity. And then comes this gush of red fruit, all the berries that I mentioned. And the finish is full of minerals. Pinot is the grape that transmits where it grows better than any other wine grape. And you really feel that on the finish of this wine. A little salty, a little dusty. That's the special place of the Garnet Valley. I'm gonna have another sip. No spitting this time. It's pure and it's so fresh and vital. I want some duck with this right now. A beautiful duck breast, fuss a little bit, sear it, cook it until it's rosé in the middle, and then sauté some wild mushrooms. This is a red wine that loves earthy food. So you could have a nice vegetable casserole, you could have even some salmon. The tannins in this wine are very well behaved. They're not ripping my mouth apart. There's a softness to them, and that means that you can pair it with salmon or tuna, some of the more robust fish. But I think I want duck with wild mushrooms. This is the organic collection. Wines made from organically farmed fruit, minimal intervention, wild yeast fermentations, using a lot of concrete. And by the way, they're all vegan. Thanks so much for sipping along with me. I hope you enjoyed the wines as much as I did. Visit OkanaganCrushPad.com to check out the other collections that are part of the Winemakers Club and to book your visit here in the summer.